Okay. Yeah, you hear that?
Got it.
Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. It's 11:08. And y'all received the minutes and the agenda and the financial report. Some of it we just got too late, but we got it done. All this stuff is also on the formal website under officer page and then video and supporting documents. And you'll see all the 3/2/22 minutes, agenda, financial report, video recording are all posted on that page. It's the subpage of the officer page called video and supporting documents. So we usually dispense with the minutes. I hope you had a chance to review it. If you haven't, they're there. Betsy does an excellent job on the minutes. They're very detailed. And last time was broken down by who said what, which was very nice, as we all contributed. So can I have a motion to dispense with the minutes, please, for 3/2/22?
Make a motion to dispense with the minutes.
Okay, second?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
4 is a quorum, you know, if everybody's talking.
Me too.
Okay. All right, and as I say, all the old business is in the minutes, the agenda, and on the website, and the video recordings there if you want to review them. So now we'll move to the financial report. Connie, you're on.
Oh, shoot. Well, okay, I left my notes up in the kitchen. Let me go grab it.
All
Forgot.
right, no problem. That's a 10% penalty there. She has to make a donation.
Me running. Okay. So I guess I don't have them. I don't know what I did with them. I've been going crazy here lately. Anyways, our balance is 3,300 and something. I don't remember exactly.
Right
Yeah,
on
there
the
you go.
page. Yeah.
Right there. I'm not even reading yours. I'm just like looking up in this to the ceiling, like, what is it? Okay. Anyways, that's our balance and they both match the bank and the statement. The bank statement and my spreadsheet match. I do have $22.67 in PayPal that I have not transferred. And 2 other donations, I believe they total to $38.89
Okay.
in Stripe. But I also have not deposited them yet because I want to find out what we're going to do first before I take their money.
All right, yeah, we'll discuss that in a minute. All right, so as she said, the balance is there and it matches the spreadsheet, so that's good, always good. Kind of had to do a lot of number crunching to get everything right, which was good. You'll see there our carryover is about 2,500 lower than previous years. We're not doing good financially at all. Our total to date carryover donations is $61,87.99. You remember we set our tentative budget at 10,000 this year, and we cut a lot of expenses. We removed a lot of expenses, moved it down from 15,000 down to 10. We haven't even paid with this balance of 3317. We haven't even paid our liability insurance at this time, and we were going to cut that in half from $1 million in coverage to 500,000. So obviously there would be next to nothing left in as a balance in our bank. And the people just aren't stepping up. There's only 57 contributions here, much lower than previous years. The carryover is much lower than previous years. I don't know, you know, put out emails, you can put out newsletters, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it all over the place, but we're fighting other sites that say, well, we do it for free. And these people, well, what they don't realize, one of the things they really don't realize, and I don't want to get into politics and stuff here, but those other sites, those other retiree groups on Facebook, and they have funding from, many of them from unions. They get funding And we have to rely as a nonprofit strictly on donations. If the people don't step up, we don't have funding. They get some funding from the union. They get a stipend for themselves, for money for themselves to run the retiree chapters in the different GE locations. We don't get that. So when they say they do it for free, well, that's a little, they're carrying it a little, you know, it's just not accurate. It's not 100% truth. So, but they accuse us of charging people, and they give it away for nothing. So, so the financial picture obviously is not good at all. I'm tired of trying to beg people. I could put out, every time I do put out a post or I put out a newsletter, an email marketing newsletter, we do get more donations. The highest we've ever been was back when we were doing the lawsuits. We had 250 people that donated. Even this 57 that I have down here, Connie can verify this from the spreadsheet, a lot of them are repeats. They're repeat donors. So this number is really not even accurate, because we could probably take off 20 off there, and maybe not 20 for 3 months or 4 months of the year, but let's say 15 or something could come off this number. So that number is very low of total donations or contributors. It's a sad situation, and you know, we work our butts off. We do a lot of things that other groups don't do, whether it's petitions or the 2 meetings representing the retirees, all kinds of things that we do, research that they don't do, the other groups don't do, to the extent that we do it. And we not only concentrate on pensions, healthcare, and life insurance benefits for our retirees and dependents, we also look at Social Security and Medicare benefits, and we keep them updated on those things. So there's a lot of extra stuff. And of course, we try to offer extra benefits. We're going to talk about a little bit about that when we get down in the agenda, because Ed has some ideas from Retirees for Justice about that. So we'll talk about that in a little while. All right. So that's where we stand. Can I have a motion to accept the financial report as given, please?
I'll make a
Nobody
motion
liked it.
to accept it.
Okay, Betsy. Second? Somebody?
I
Somebody?
second.
Okay, Brian, all in favor? Aye.
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 Did we lose Bob? Is Bob gone? I don't see his name on the right side. You got knocked out? Maybe he got knocked out. Okay. All right, old business, as I told you, is on the website, the formal website. There's Bob, he just came back.
Yeah, one of my hard drives had to be repaired, and when it did, it just shut everything else down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we
having
can't
fun
see you
with
either now.
Everybody's having fun today with their computers. All right, so all the old business is already contained in all that documentation on the website. All right, and the video, all the different documents. So new business. All right, obviously we're talking about the continuation of Gerbs and Solutions as a nonprofit organization. I've announced that I'm going to resign as of June 30th, 2022. And there's a lot of different priorities and situations right now going on in my life, from a new relationship to financial stuff, and other considerations I have to make regarding finances. And I'm kind of tired after 9 years of doing this locally, doing it at the plant, and then 2014 or 15 when we organized the national group of GE retirees. So 7 years there, 2 years at the plant. 9 years I've been doing this. It's a lot of work. There's no pay, as everybody knows. We're volunteers, but you know, all my family and friends say to me, basically, they say to me, "What are you, nuts? Why are you doing that? With your skills and talents, you should be working at a job that is going to pay you. You're doing this for nothing. You've done a long time, John. It's time for you to relax and enjoy your retirement. And these people won't step up. You know, they won't step up and support you financially to keep the organization going. And all they want you to do is basically fight for them with GE on their benefits to protect their I call it earned benefits, pension, healthcare, and life insurance that GE's taking away slow but sure, every one of them. We all expect with this new reorganization in 3 GE components, healthcare, aviation, and power, that we don't even know where our pensions are going, our healthcare is going, our life insurance is going to continue. They've already cut a lot of people. So that, you know, and they want us to fight for all that stuff, you see, but they don't want to support us. You know, they want us to do it, but they don't, and that's fine if they would support us financially so we could do these things. We're going to probably get into, and Ed can address this some, but we're probably going to get into some legalities here, some legislative stuff here to try to protect this stuff, because we have no other options left here. GE thinks they can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. They have that damn clause, that escape clause or whatever it's called in the SPDs, the
Reservation of rights.
yeah, reservation rights. Thank you. And they think they can do whatever they want to do. We all suspect, and Ed, you can again address this, but we suspect that GE will de-risk, totally de-risk on the next contract, all the pension plan. Whether it goes to Athene or Prudential or MetLife or whatever big company, but we suspect that's where they're going. They won't tell us now. Of course, they're not going to give us a heads up because we probably tried to do something legally to stop them. Ed, you want to say anything to that?
Well, you know, I don't know. It's a big pension plan. I don't know that they'll be able to de-risk the whole thing, but it's clear that they're going down that path and looking at their options.
Yeah.
I suspect they'll do more. Whether they could do it all at once, I don't know, because it's, you know, it would be a big premium.
Yeah, it would be. You're talking 250,000 out there and another 150,000 coming out. Of course, 10,000 are dying a year. 10 to 12,000 retirees are dying a year. GE loves that because they don't have to pay any benefits there.
Well, they still have to pay the spousal benefit if there was a spousal election.
Yeah, if there is a spousal option, yes, they do. So anyway, all those concerns of mine personally, I'm tired. I got other priorities. There's other things. I've re-engaged in all my 12-step programs, and I enjoy that. That's my element right there, being part of 12-step work and working with people. That's what I did most of my life. And I want to get back there. It's good for me personally, health-wise, mental health. You know, it's very good for me to be involved in that kind of stuff. This can be very frustrating. This can be very frustrating, tiresome, burdensome. And I just, after talking with some people who have all advised me to just, John, it's time to leave. I made the decision. So I let you guys know. I'm normally, I don't like being I feel like a quitter on the other hand, you know, and I don't want GE to get away with any crap, you know, because they certainly will try if nobody stands up to them. And I think we're a premier organization for standing up to them. I really do. Even though we don't get the acknowledgement. Go ahead. Somebody was going to say something. Somebody was going to say
Yeah.
something.
I was. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I took over this position because somebody else dropped out, I took it under duress here because I didn't want it. And so I've been doing it forever. And I told you, if you ever left, I was done too. I just do not want to be treasurer anymore. I don't like doing it anyways. I just did it because we didn't have anybody else. So that poses another issue because now you'll need a treasurer as well.
Yep. How's everybody else feel about us closing down the formal? Not closing down Facebook. I want to be clear about that, but
Well, I don't want to be president. If that tells you anything, I don't know.
okay. It's a big job. There's a lot, there's legalities, there's IRS.
I run a business and I'm pretty busy besides that.
Yeah.
And I was happy to be vice president. I thought I offered something because of my background in Medicare and stuff.
Yeah,
And I've been to so many organizations, different positions. And so I know how a lot of I know how most groups or some groups work. So I thought I would, possibly have some benefit for the group. But I certainly don't want to be president. I don't have that much. I don't have the time for it, really. I just honestly don't.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny in retirement how you think is that, if you get involved in a lot of things, if you're an active person, you get involved in a lot of things. It's like, how did I ever find the time to do this when I was working, let alone when I'm retired?
Well, I retired early because of my foot.
Yeah.
So I went ahead working until my doctor made me quit.
Yeah.
I was running flea markets and stuff. And so now I just repair computers. But during the pandemic, I haven't been taking any business in. So
Yeah. Anybody else want to make any kind of comment about folding the organization? There's legalities of closing this. I want you to be aware of that.
Mhm.
You got to notify IRS, state of Kansas. You got to.
I think it'd be good if we kept the Facebook thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And let me finish this with the legalities, so Bob, and then definitely. Money, when you close a nonprofit, the money cannot go back to the members. It has to go to another nonprofit charity. I believe we talked about this in the past and saying that now that we partnered with Retirees for Justice, that would be our number one priority, is to make that donation of whatever's left in the balance, which isn't going to be a lot of money, to Retirees for Justice. Is everybody okay with that? And then I have to do all the other stuff of notification.
yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I just can't do anything with the money until our taxes are done because I'm
Right.
sure we're not gonna owe taxes, but I know we're gonna owe the accountant. And I gotta make sure we pay her.
Yeah, I
I
figured,
don't know what
Connie,
other,
yes, we got to pay her. Yes, there's other expenses. I figure we're going to be, if we close down the website, there's things that got to get done there. I figured, Connie, probably the end of June, that's what I put as my resignation date, but I'll stay as long as I have to make sure everything's taken care of. Now, the other thing for me, I want to let you know is that I plan on I'm on Ed's board for Retirees for Justice, and I plan on continuing that role. They're doing a lot of great work, legal work and legislative work over there. If you've looked at the site lately, they've expanded a lot of things. I don't know if we're on there yet, but please go over there and take a look. Ed, are you there, Ed?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Ed sent me a sheet and he asked me to just keep it to myself about benefits that they're going to be offering over there. Ed, can I show that to the group or not?
Yeah.
not you,
some of
to
it-
keep it to yourself.
No, I don't mind sharing it with you guys. Just it's not live, and some of the life insurance benefits that are on that are not going to be available because the carrier has pulled them.
Oh,
So that's why I didn't want to publish it, because it was still subject to approval.
okay.
So, but we've got, I can just give an overview. I'm happy to have you share it so people can get
Yeah,
a
let
look
me-
at what it is.
Yeah, let me bring it up, Ed.
Yeah,
Let me
the
bring it up.
design on all this was to solve for some of the problems that happened with retirees losing their life insurance all of a sudden, which happened, I know, with you guys quite some time ago, but it most recently happened with AT&T and with DuPont. They all had their life insurance either reduced or cut off altogether, effective in January. So we came up with a couple of different products. We also have an arrangement with the Aetna affiliate for Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplement plans. They're all individualized. You go through them, but they have all sorts of information that anybody can look at and sign up.
Are they seeing the screen? Are you guys seeing the screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm moving it up and down. Okay, all right.
And when I get, you know what I'll do, John, when I get it updated, I'll send it around.
Okay, yeah, send it to the board. You know, I was looking at it, just so you know, I did have some questions about different things on the different, I
Sure.
did it very quickly. I was gonna get back to you and go over some of this, but
No
Uh,
problem.
yeah, you know, and the board will give you good feedback too on these different benefit options here, you know?
Right. So the way these all work, just so you know, these are products that are individualized products. Everyone, you know, you apply as an individual through the organization. They're group pricing, so the pricing is better than you would get for the most part in the open market. There could be some differences in some states, but this is through one group. There's another one that's an Aetna affiliate, and they have three different things. They have Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplement plans, and they also have two different final expense life insurance policies that are pretty competitively priced. So the idea was to give people options when they had lost benefits and things that they can look at. And there's going to be more and more stuff coming online as we vet them. So this is just in the very early stages, and we're working through the logistics of getting it live and getting people, you know, teed up. It's always a cart before the horse problem with this kind of stuff, because we don't know how many members we're ultimately going to have, how many people are going to be interested. And we have to also set up the back end so that we track everything, so we know who goes through Retirees for Justice, and then, you know, that we have some checks and balances when things go on. We don't want to be involved in the decision-making process, because we want that to be an individual decision, but we don't want to put anything up there that's, you know, problematic. So if there is any negative feedback, we want to know about it so we can change it or address it. But we can't take responsibility. It has to go through the licensed insurance agencies and all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty exciting because we'll have a lot of stuff that I think you guys will find interesting. And at least it'll, you know, give you a reason to play around and look at all the different options that are available. And hopefully you won't need some of them. But if you do, you know, it's good to know that they're there and they're pretty effectively priced.
Did you, Ed, did you get us on your page as a partner? Yeah,
No, I haven't done that. I need to get all your information on how you want to have that link, but I can do that whenever you want.
okay.
I would love to do that.
One of the things I want to do is, you know, as we're collapsing the formal nonprofit, is really promote Retirees for Justice and try to get the membership over there, you know? And tell
Yeah,
them-
I think and I would love to have all of you guys active as you want to be. And you're welcome to join the board if you like. You're welcome to join and help with lots of different things. I'm looking for whatever we can get started. We have some really interesting things happening in Washington right now, specifically related to pensions. And I just got back from Albany, where we spent 2 days dealing with various members of the insurance committees, both on the Assembly side and the Senate side. So there's definitely a lot of legislative activity. And, you know, what's turning people's heads now more and more is kind of the involvement of private equity in the business of insurance.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's starting to wake people up, even members of Congress who've been otherwise sleeping on retirees for a long time.
Yeah, they have. It's time we get some legislative support, for God's sake, or some congressional support. Both houses. Which is gonna be a tough cookie.
Well, there's a movement right now. I mean, you know, Chris Murphy from Connecticut just came out and introduced the Pension Risk Transfer Accountability Act.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be going to the Senate. You know, and that could, it really is addressed to the Secretary of Labor, but it's the perfect timing to get in and try and amend ERISA.
Does it address de-risking, Ed, in that legislation?
100%.
Okay, good.
And I've given them my thoughts on what they should be looking at and how to make it more transparent and accountable, you know, and how the retirees can get more information.
Yeah, and keep it on American soil.
Right, but exactly, at least force them to disclose when they do reinsure with a Bermuda affiliate. What it means.
Yeah. All right, so everybody, you see the importance, us supporting Retirees for Justice. Again, I'll be on the board. You just heard Ed say that anybody can join his board. Just let them know if anybody on our board wants to join them. Once we fold our organization, or even before, you can start to get involved. There's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of legal, legislative type stuff, which we really, we backed away from. Ed, do you deal with, what is it, NRLN? You deal with them?
I do.
Okay,
do.
they got a great petition out right now. And those are the kind of things that when we talk to our legislators, Congress, the House or Senate, even locally sometimes, that speaks volumes to getting support. And we need to be more, that's more the activism versus the advocacy, you know what I'm saying? When we need to be involved. We need to get involved in this stuff if we want to protect our benefits, pension, healthcare, life insurance. Those benefits, if you can get away with it, I keep telling everybody, they will do it. They will get rid of them.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court's not doing you any favors either.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
John,
yes, go ahead.
okay, hey, it's me. A couple weeks ago, I put out an email or a post, I should say,
Yes,
asking what the retirees wanted this board to do for them.
right.
And I've noticed, I pay attention to the website, I pay attention to the questions that are being asked and this and that. And I've noticed that when we were doing the Benestar thing, with the hopes of a enhanced benefit there,
Yeah.
the donations were coming in, not real strong, but we were getting more than what we're getting now.
Good observation.
People, this is my personal opinion on this, will donate more if there's something for them.
Right.
Okay, if we just offer nothing but advocacy, it's not going to be there. They want something. They want to be able to see what their money is being used for.
Yeah.
The biggest items that I got from that poll
Yeah.
was life insurance,
Yeah.
a drug plan, vision and dental, and then cell phone plans or cell phones, something in that nature.
Hold on 1 second. You don't mind if I write this down because,
Well,
you
Brian, why don't you send Ed the email with those results? Send him an email and that way he'll have them.
Okay, I'll have to go back down. It's buried now because I didn't put it as an
Would you-
announcement.
would you mind? Because that's really, we're in a position now where we have a whole bunch of folks we're looking at and vetting, and, feedback from retirees is really invaluable about what they're really looking for.
Yeah.
And I like to get as many perspectives as I possibly can. But I mean, look, just vision, dental, those types of things, they're not that hard to cut. Drug plans, they're not that hard to find things that are available. It's just a matter of explaining to folks that, we anticipate as we put more of these things on the site and make it more available, more and more people will join, because all they're looking for is, more participants.
Absolutely. I mean, they want something in return. And
Right.
Brian,
what
state
I'm seeing right here, right now is good. I mean, this is going to draw people in. They'll pay
Yeah.
attention to it. They'll read through it. This
Yeah.
is going to
Right.
increase donations, especially if you can come out with something that is a good benefit for them, that's cheaper,
Yeah.
but gives them all the benefits that they need.
Right. That's what we were hoping for in the life insurance. Yeah.
That was
Yeah, so
Brian,
we'll have a lot of,
Brian, just
have
say
a lot
those. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ed.
gonna have a lot of different benefits to choose from, because I'm trying to give as many options as we can without making it, too diluted. But I think that it's gonna be, by the time June rolls around, everything should be live. Everybody should be able to look. Everybody should be able to access these strategic partners' own resources. So it's not just us. If people want information about, if they move and they want to change carriers, they can do that right there. And it's all individualized, so you don't have to worry about anybody else getting access to information. None of the information that's going to go into the various carriers is going to be shared with anybody. So it's all protected, and everybody signed all these kind of HIPAA compliant release forms and all that. But the more feedback we can get about the type of benefits people want, the more we can customize the things that are available.
Okay. Brian, just say the top topics again, just one more time.
Okay, the big hitters were the life insurance and drug plans. Okay, then after those were vision, dental, and medical. Those all got pretty much the same. And then cell phone plans.
Okay.
I told them up front that there's nothing I can do about Medicare or pension. Okay, we couldn't do anything about those.
Yeah, other than if there's work that Ed's doing on those fronts, we can certainly keep them informed about that stuff.
Right. I mean, as far as pension goes, it's the de-risking factor,
Right.
which people need to pay attention to, and they're
Yeah.
not. They don't think it's going
Right.
to happen. Come next year,
Right.
when we split to 3 companies, we're in trouble. That's my opinion.
Just so people know that,
I agree. I don't think Genworth has ever really been sorted out.
yeah. On the pension de-risking, again, going back to when GE announced the split into 3 companies, which is going to be over a few years here. The question, of course, all the retiree organizations immediately wanted to know where the money was going. The pension fund was going, the trust fund, where the healthcare trust fund was going with, is the RRA going to stay in effect, blah, blah. And Karen Stewart, who is under Kevin Cox, who's the head of HR, Karen Stewart is under him with benefits, said, we have made no decisions at this point. Of course they haven't even split the businesses yet. But we don't know where that stuff's going to land, as I said earlier. We have no idea if they're going to cut it or it's going to land in equal portions, or certain healthcare might take the healthcare piece. Who knows? Nobody knows. But she said after that, we will keep you informed. But you know how GE works about keeping you informed. And they are going to do it until the last minute when they announce this is the way it is. Again, we're talking pension, healthcare, life insurance benefits, folks. So it's important to us, obviously. So we have to, as Brian said, we have to keep a close eye on this stuff, and we will stay involved too, even as a Facebook group. I want to mention this. We will stay involved in the spring and fall meetings with GE. We will be present at those. Brian was part of that. Connie was part of that. I was part of that with GE. We will stay involved in those meetings and voice our concerns on our benefits, pension, healthcare, life insurance. Not that they're going to listen, but we're going to voice our concerns. Maybe we'll have a stronger position once we're part of Retirees for Justice to say, okay, then you're forcing us to take a legal stand. And that's what we'll have to do, whatever. All right. Any questions on that? So we're going to, on the next bullet item on fundraising, we're going to stop fundraising, period. We're going to shut down the recurring payments. We're going to, Connie's got some that she can refund. What's left? Everybody agrees. What's left, we'll go over to Retirees for Justice. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, then somebody make a motion, please, so we make it formal.
I make a motion that all leftover funds be donated to Retirees for Justice.
Okay, second.
Yes, I second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right, very good. That's settled.
Well, thank
I
you very
do
much.
have a question for Ed.
Yeah.
Well, and for you too, John.
Yeah.
I get it that we're not gonna do fundraisers, but in order to support the other group, we do need to come up with some way to ask our members to support
Yes, and what we can do there, Connie,
Retirees
is
for
on,
Justice.
yeah, on
Right.
Facebook, we can, over on Ed's site, they have a fundraising page, right, Ed? You
Yeah.
can explain it better. So we can say to the members, please join. And if you can, please give a donation over there at Retirees Justice. We can say that at Facebook, right, Ed?
Yeah, and I can help coordinate that with you. I think, Connie, whatever is left over, which by the way, we appreciate anything, I think you should do it in the form of a grant. I think that's just best for your, are you a 501c3?
C5.
C5, okay, all right. I don't think it doesn't matter as much then.
Yeah. What I read on it, Ed, and please, if you can, look that up for
Yeah.
me so I make sure I'm doing it right legally. That you had to make a donation to another nonprofit 501, I forget, does a C5 have to go to a C5 or can a C5 go to a C3 or whatever?
I think they could mix and match, because I know that the Association of Belltel Retired makes grants to Retirees for Justice,
Okay,
and they're a 501c3.
you're a 3. All right, can you check
Well,
on
Well,
that?
and that's what I'm saying. I still think that indirectly, we still should ask our members to give some donations, but they wouldn't be coming to me anymore. They'd be going
Right.
there to
Ted's.
Retirees
We'll
for
give 'em-
Justice, but
we'll
we
give
can
'em the-
still promote it.
Yeah, we'll give them the link, Connie, and we'll keep, just like we
All
do
right.
for ours. We'll constantly put posts up there every so often, once a month,
All right.
whatever. Yep, definitely.
Connie, do I have to
Okay.
pay you a royalty for your slogan?
Yes.
What is the slogan?
You want justice for retirees?
Justice
Join-
for retirees.
Oh,
Go ahead, Ed. Tell them again.
If you want justice for retirees, join Retirees for Justice.
that's good. That's good. Very
That's
good.
Connie's.
Yeah,
She's getting at it.
definitely, Connie, you need a royalty there, buddy.
That is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. That's good. That is very
I'm
good.
just glad that I was able to help a little bit.
I expect to see that on the top of your front page in quotations by Connie Vick. Ed.
Well,
No, just leave it anonymous. It's all good.
you know what? I think I'm going to take another idea from another retiree group I talked to, and we should make T-shirts.
Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
tried that for a while and we did sell some of them back when we
Yeah.
were doing rallies and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I can give you the name of the company that screen prints them. They're pretty good price.
Yep.
Yeah, listen, this is, I mean, I understand it's tough for you guys to kind of close down shop in a way, but I think that, to the extent we can continue the good fight. I know Retirees for Justice will benefit enormously from your experience in dealing with these issues. These issues are not going away.
No.
I mean, you're a pioneer in trying to kind of bring some focus to bear. But we've done some things and we're doing some more, including, we'll expand this to fighting proxy battles. Eventually. Do any of you guys own GE stock?
Anybody left it? It's got
Not
G's.
anymore.
Yeah, I don't anymore.
Not anymore.
Connie, do
Maybe
you?
mutual funds.
No.
No,
Well,
Connie?
Because you know what, one of the things we could do is we can actually go to appear at the annual meetings of the shareholders,
Yes.
and we could present some proxy proposals. I know that some of my other associations have done that and been very successful with it, particularly fighting excessive executive compensation, things like that.
Well, I'll tell you, in the past, when they've
Uh-huh.
put proxies in, let's say, for instance, for pension increases. And GE would say to the person like Kevin Mahar from the Lynn plant, retiree, he runs a retiree chapter over there. And Kevin would present that proxy and they'd take him aside and they'd say to him before the share owners meeting, if you withdraw that, we'll give them a 10% raise, one-time raise, you know? It does force them to address your issue once you put it in the proxy. So what we would need at that point is, we have people that we could use to do that, that could present that stuff at the share owners meeting. We do.
Yeah.
All of it's done virtually right now.
It depends. I know that there's one for Verizon that's live again this year.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll see with GE, but my thinking is with GE, they're always trying to cut costs, so they're gonna stay virtual because they used to have to reimburse us for those meetings.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I thought at one time we were starting to make a little bit of headway at those meetings until some people started actually sucking up to GE and praising them and how wonderful they were. And we're like,
I
what the
know.
hell is this? You're supposed to be up there advocating for the retirees, not sucking up to GE management. What the hell?
You're
But
absolutely
anyway,
right.
so I think we just lost a lot of credibility because of some of those suck
Yeah,
ups.
the sad fact of the matter is, which I tried to do for years, is pull all the retiree groups together. Let's have a centralized or focused agenda going into that share owners meeting. What are our priorities? What proxies might we want to put out there? And let's support each other as a unified. And they
Yeah.
would not do it. You know how it is, Connie. You know the politics.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible, horrible.
Too many
They were
egos
just too
in the
busy
way.
sucking up to GE.
Yeah, that's the worst part. That was the worst part. And backstabbing us would do, sadly. Okay. The other thing that popped in my head, and I don't know why, but we were getting a ton of, so somebody's passing the word about us with salaried employees all over the country, not just hourly. We were getting a lot of salaried enrollees or registrants at our website, which I thought was pretty darn good, that they're starting to look at us as an advocate or an activist to protect their benefits. You see, because they know what's coming too. They probably know better than we know because they have inside contacts. All right. So pension de-risking we talked about. We're going to keep an eye on that, even as a Facebook group with Ed. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll do what we have to do. He talked about the legislation. We definitely, as Brian had said, we got to keep a close eye on it. And tell our members, whether it's Facebook or not, or Retirees for Justice, tell our members, you got to get involved in this stuff. You got to raise your voice. You got to be part of the solution. We got to be unified with a strong voice on this stuff. This is not going away. Not going away. All right, and then the next item, bullet item, is GE's new structure and how that affects. Do I have this up, or I'm still looking at Retirees for Justice, aren't I?
Yeah, you're still looking at that product. There you go.
Okay, let me go back to the agenda. All right. All right, so you should be seeing that now, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going down these bullet items here. GE's new structure, we already talked about that. Nothing is settled. We haven't gotten any update, and they aren't going to let us know until the last minute. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to panic. You want to see retirees panic? That's when they'll panic. What do you mean it's going there? What do you mean you're giving it to Athene? What do you mean? You're cutting our RRA. What do you mean? Who's going to do something about this? Then they'll want our help. Then they'll want to give us money.
Then they can call John, the other John or Melody.
Yeah, that'll get them far.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've decided that we're just going to have a Facebook presence, but we also will be recognized, Ed, over on your site as a partner. And we'll try to get as many members as we can over there and donations that we can get over there. Plus, we'll give you the remainder of our money when we close. You check the legality and what we want to make sure that we cross all Ts and dot all Is on that, do it legally.
If
John, what you gotta make sure you let me know how you want to be linked from retirees to justice to you. Where do you want it to go? Do you want it to go to what's going to be your Facebook site, to your, whatever, to your old URL? You just got to tell me how to link it. And then I
Right.
can get you a page. I can get you a page to look at that's mocked up, and you can say, put this on, we can add stuff to it. I just
Okay.
got to know how to behind the scenes. And I can't do this because I'm not gifted in this area, but I have somebody who will, create the back end. So once you click, it goes right to wherever you want it. But you just gotta provide me with all that information.
I will. And once we shut down the formal ed, we will kill the contract with GoDaddy, who's our host on there.
Okay.
So it will be Facebook, and what we will do is give you a link and maybe a picture of that. All that kind of stuff. We'll doctor it up and make it look nice. All right.
And do you guys ever have meetings like with the other people on your board? Like Zoom calls like this?
Yeah, we're gonna do more and more of it, actually. We've had a few informal ones, but we're gonna start to get more formal starting June 1.
Okay.
Do you have a Zoom account then?
Yeah,
Okay.
Would you just ask, Connie?
if we have a Zoom account.
Oh, okay. Okay. June 1st, you're going to start board meetings formal?
Not sure the date, but it's not gonna be before June because I want to make sure that all the other stuff is up first.
Okay. All right. I'm just marking.
Bob,
it.
I think we would keep it the same name.
Our
I think you should.
organization? Yes.
I think you should. It would be better because
I
that
was
way you
just
can
wondering
piggyback.
if there was any problem with us doing that.
No, we own that name, Bob. We're incorporated with that name. There's
Well,
no problem.
we're gonna unincorporate, aren't we?
Well,
The
We're not-
website, but not Facebook.
yeah, not Facebook. We are still with state of Kansas. We are still with IRS. That's a good question, Bob. But Ed, do you know legally, can we still do that? Once we
You can,
I don't know.
if you close down, you can distribute the assets.
Yeah.
You could distribute it to whatever group you want, but it probably would be better for you if you had some sort of organization to hold it. Just to limit your liability.
yeah, but can
Not-
we keep,
not that
the question is, well, can we keep the name GE Retiree Benefit Solutions once we notify the state of Kansas and IRS that we're dissolving? Can we keep that name? That
Well,
name-
you
Why
have-
not?
You'd have to distribute it. Let me ask my my expert on nonprofits, because that's not me,
Okay,
but I'll look into that for you.
all right, thank you. All right. As I said earlier, we're getting quite a few salaried retirees from all over the country. I'm pretty amazed with that. All right, so, we're going to transition to Retirees for Justice, and we're going to check on the legality of the name. It's a good question, Bob. We're going to continue to address all the issues we've been addressing, de-risking healthcare, life insurance, and all that stuff. Donations will go over that way. We'll promote it that way. I don't know what the hell that 304 is in that line right there. Anyway, then, all right. You guys sent a whole bunch of comments on the partnership. If you got questions, you all have Ed's email. I give it to you when, I send out an email when I include Ed. If you got questions on this partnership, would you please, I know you sent me a bunch of stuff I think I forwarded it to you, Ed, too, anyway. If you got questions about Retirees for Justice and this partnership, let's bring them to Ed, or bring them to my attention. When Ed and I meet, we'll go over them, whatever. I don't want to neglect that aspect of your, whatever questions or concerns you had about this partnership, this transition. Okay,
Well, if we dissolve our nonprofit, we're just going to be joining that group, aren't we? We can't join them as I don't see how we can join them as a group unless we just do a Facebook group and then they're in that name thing again.
Or so when you're dissolving the 501c5, you're doing that to avoid the ongoing administrative expense?
Administrative reporting, all that kind of stuff, that. And where's the money going at? That's the other part of it, the legality of dissolving.
Okay, I see. Well, let me get you an answer on that. I think it's important. Maybe what you want to do is create another entity that, like an LLC or some sort of, or a corporation that's not a 501c5 that has all that reporting. But then you can distribute whatever goodwill is associated with GURBS to that new entity when you dissolve the 501c5.
All right, if you could check on that, because
I will.
way back when I initially did this, I can't even think of the company's name that I dealt with, which gave us a hard time. But anyway, we finally got it done and we're incorporated as an LLC, and then we presented it to IRS in the state of Kansas. I can't even think of the name of the company.
LLC is what I have.
Yeah, but there was a company, Bob, we dealt with that.
Yeah, it's probably one of those corporation entities. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, just for more probably for your information, Ed, than the rest of the group, but the rest of the group should know, Paul Cesardo, who's the guy that the IT tech guy, he had a lot of different things and offerings and ways to market. I don't know if you're interested, but there's this information right there. If you're interested in that, it's there on the agenda. And then Dennis Rochelo, I did talk to, and he said he'd be willing to talk to you. He also recommended that we have a conversation about this whole G thing. Remember the whole thing about them making us go through via benefits in this organization? We're going to look into that, or one of your lawyers was going to look into that. Dennis, you wanted the background from Dennis on this whole timeline, planning, implementation when GE went to VIA. Dennis said he'd be glad to talk to you, but he said he got rid of, after the lawsuit, he got rid of most of the paperwork. And he said Chuck Welch, who is the top benefits guy at the time Dennis was there, knows a lot more about it than Dennis does, even though Dennis was doing the legal part of the lawsuit. So, but Dennis said he would talk to you if you wanted that.
Can't hurt. I think what we were talking about was we were trying to figure out whether there was any direct or indirect kickbacks that were being paid from VIA benefits to steer people there.
Yeah, well, down here again, this whole thing from Winston and Strawn, that law firm, forcing people to get their RRA, they had to go through, and their hypothesis, or whatever you want, legal standing was that that's not legal for them to do that.
No, that's definitely not kosher.
Yeah. So I don't know if your guy, have you signed a guy and he's looking at that? And
Yeah, let me check back in with them. They're on trial right now. But,
okay. Well, there's all the information in the agenda.
Yeah.
So, and you
good.
have,
I will call. I'll call Dennis anyhow just to get the background.
yeah, there's the information on Winston and Strawn on that. Our idea back then was, how can they get away with forcing in a voluntary, the way this thing says, in a voluntary program, how can they force us? We lose our RRA and we lose our catastrophic drug coverage if we don't join VIA. That's wrong. Everybody should have the RRA. Not they can force you to not have it. Yearly stipend in the catastrophic. So I think it's a good thing to look at. And if it's legally possible, confront GE about it. All right. We already talked about life insurance concerns. So you say the life insurance is dead, Ed, on your site?
No. Just the reason I didn't want you to share that document is because some of the policies that were there are not available, but there are different ones that are. There'll always be life insurance. It just depends on what the coverage is and what the underwriting is.
Ed, don't say the word depends when you're talking to retirees, all right?
Okay,
Some people are insulted, you
I'm not gonna touch that one with a
They're crazy.
know. Okay, so, and again, I just brought up the thing. And I'll tell you what, Ed, we're still getting views of our pension de-risking thing. And I think that's something that should go over on your site. That was well done. Answered a lot of questions.
No, I'm glad. It's a big issue. You know, I talked with the Assemblyman Abadi's office yesterday, not yesterday, it was Tuesday. And even though they had sponsored the bill, they weren't aware of how many people have been impacted, how much money's been transferred to insurance companies, and how big a deal this could be if one of these big insurers goes bust. And they were seriously nervous about, because, you know, it didn't take them long to figure out that, oh, so if one of these does blow up, it's going to fall on the states to pick up the pieces, isn't it? And that's exactly right.
Yeah, and the states aren't gonna fulfill it at an 80% percentage or
Right.
anything like that either. Depending what
No.
state you're in, every state's different.
That's right.
So it's a tough issue, boy. People are just don't want to be aware. They don't want to take their head out of the sand on this. Hey, Brian, isn't that right?
Yeah.
No, I think that head in the sand is exactly the problem. That's what's got to stop. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll let you know. We'll know something about what, if this is going to move forward in Washington, this act. I'm going to follow up on that as well, because that would be interesting, because if we could force folks to pay attention to what's going on,
Yeah.
you know, that'll stop the shenanigans, some of the shenanigans with the offshoring and the credit for reinsurance is that really, I think, puts people at systemic risk.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. See, people just don't understand the issue. Ed. They really don't. Sadly. Thank God we got some people to participate in that de-risking. And of course, we got also the negative comments. Oh, you people are just panicking, people. Nothing's going to happen. Well, it already did happen to 70,000. What's the matter
Yeah.
with you? We gave 5 examples where GE did de-risking, freezes,
Yeah.
buyouts. I said, oh my God, what's the matter with you people? Anyway, we brought this whole issue up, as I've said before, at the GE spring meeting. I don't know if we're having a spring meeting. I haven't gotten any notification on a spring meeting with GE this year. We sent it to the board of directors, to Kevin Cox, the head of HR. We sent it to all the national retiree reps. We sent it to the IUECWA division. You know, we've had over 372, probably now over 400 easily views. You know, we've done everything we can to get that message out there. If people want to, as we just said, keep their head in the sand, God help us, boy. You know, or if the legislation doesn't go through, GE will cut us. You can count on it. So, all right. So I'm sure there's no committee reports, right? Anybody got anything that they need to report?
I did the minutes, that's it.
All right. You did good too. Thank you. Brian, anything on benefit advocacy?
No, not much. I get a few inquiries about some issues, but I'm able to tell them where to go to find the information, and I never hear anything back from them. So,
Okay. You know, remember I told you, Brian, I was getting tons of phone calls from retirees, but it was all about GE stuff. How do I get on one HR? How do I get my SSO back? Why aren't I getting my 1099 form? How can I get my 1099? They're calling us. And
right, I sent that all on up, and
yeah, you know, and
they looked
I,
into it. They came back and they said all of the 1099s or all of the W-2s or whatever were all mailed out by the end of January, which was their commitment. Everybody should have got it. If not, you go to the website and you can download and print out your copy of it. And of course, I had some people come back and said, well, I don't have a printer and I don't want to buy one. So, you know,
and they don't
Let
want
me
to
hand
get,
carry it to you then.
yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do if they don't want to do
No.
that. If they don't want to help themselves, there's nothing I can do.
you know, I put on my phone, the phone I use for the organization. I put on the phone a long message about we do not handle one HR issues. If you have one HR issue such as your 1099 direct deposit or any of that kind of stuff, 1-800-432-3450. I was getting tons and tons of messages on my phone. Oh my God. They thought we were GE.
You should have added, or go to the GE retirees group. They'll do it all for you there.
Oh, yeah, I should have. Let them in. Oh, let me shut that off.
You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're getting at. Just an arm of GE. I mean, what am I saying? Okay, anything else, Connie or anybody?
Did we get our audit done?
Yeah, we did that last meeting, I think it was. We
Okay.
did it. Yeah, we all approved it. And that, I don't know if I posted it yet, but what's the sense of posting it if we're gonna take it down on a formal site? There's your meeting dates for the rest of the year. Okay, I know we've missed some dates on the second Thursday, simply because I've been buried. We'll try to keep to the schedule of second Thursdays of the month. Next one would be May 12th. We still have board meetings, even if we're Facebook or, you know, what we used to call in the old day is core group meetings. And,
Right?
you know, we weren't an official board before we incorporated and did all that stuff and did bylaws and articles of incorporation. Oh my God, I think about all the work. It's amazing. Okay, we're not.
I do think, I think I would like to probably participate a little bit in Ed's group once we're dissolved here,
Okay,
but I don't know to what capacity.
Yeah, I as well.
Okay, you
Great.
guys, are you all signed up over on this site? And you, if you want to be a board
Yeah.
member, let them know.
Send me an email and give me an idea about, you know, we're not going to make it onerous in terms of time commitments, but I did learn from experience, if you have too small of a board, you can run into quorum problems from time to time.
Yes,
Uh, And so I want to avoid that. And also, you know, ideally as things grow, we could, you know, spread the work around and not have it all fall on one person's
Mhm.
shoulder. But I would welcome your participation. And that's very exciting for me because look, you have a lot of experience and you've done a lot and you understand these issues. And it would be great to have you.
Ed, do you have officer titles like treasurer or?
We do. We're still finalizing some of the bylaws because we made a couple changes, but we will have formal titles and all that kind of stuff too. But we're also going to have board members and even advisory board members.
Okay, good. Yeah, I agree with you. The more the better, as we're down to.
Yeah,
trustees.
I don't want to make it completely unwieldy, but I think there's benefit to having different perspectives, number one. Number two, it's good to have folks from different parts of the country. We get different perspectives. And then number three, you know, I think when you get people from different walks of life, different industries, it adds, you know, some diversity, and it just, I think, makes for a better, you know, a better overall board.
Right. And I just want to echo Ed's invitation. You know, Ed and I got to form a pretty good partnership and have done some work together. And Retirees for Justice, I think it's the right direction to go. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to stay on that board. And I invite all the board members, please go over and just become a member. You know?
Yeah, it's free to join. It's free to join.
You know?
Well,
least
I'm
for
gonna-
now.
They could give you $12, you know. That's not like the retiree help.
We're working on really interesting things
Well,
that
it'd be
may
kind of, I would, maybe I wouldn't feel foolish, but I think it would be wise if we're going to be promoting the Retirees for Justice group, if we are a part of it as well, you know, on our Facebook group.
Good
I just
point.
think it's kind of
I've been a
important.
member for a long time.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yes, you
As-
have.
I have two, and somebody stuck me on the damn board over there. I don't know who that.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna have to sign off.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
we're gonna finish up anyway, Ed. So thanks.
Okay, well, thank you all. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to working with you all in the future. And I'm sure we'll be in touch no later than next week. And please send me emails if you're interested in joining, and I'll get you what you need to know.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
any
Ed.
questions, everybody? You know, you all said a lot in that email. Please, I think I forwarded that to you, Ed, but still email them directly if you got questions about retirees for justice.
Great. All right, guys. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thanks,
Bye,
Ed.
Ed.
Thanks,
Take care.
Ed.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I,
All right, so is there anything else, anybody?
Hmm.
one
Um,
thought I had is that, you'll have to do taxes for 2022 also.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, you're all right.
For
So
these
don't
last 3
don't
months.
eliminate
or 4
any of your
months.
spreadsheets, Connie, whatever you do.
Well, I'm concerned about the money because we're gonna have to pay her for next year.
Well, yeah, well, you have to keep that part. I don't know, keep it in your own account, whatever. I don't know.
No, how about, well, I was gonna say maybe I could pay her in advance, but that wouldn't work either.
Well, you could do that. Say to her, hey, we want to make this payment in advance because we're dissolving. That's not a bad idea.
Or if it'd be possible to go ahead and do it in advance, when we dissolve, you know? I'll
Yeah.
ask her.
Do you
Yeah,
know
that's
how
good.
much it is this year?
Pardon me?
Do you know how much she's charging you now? Or charging
200.
us?
That's what we pay her.
How much?
200.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not, are you kidding
It's
me?
cheap.
Yeah, that's
That's
cheap. That's
cheap.
right. It's cheap. And she does a good job. And hopefully, well, the name change don't really matter now at this point.
It's inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Mhm.
One thing
All
I
right.
learned in insurance, never use the word cheap.
All right. Yeah, we'll resolve the legal question about our name too, Bob. Ed'll get back to me. if
Yeah.
we Keep that.
John, well, just
yes.
maybe I could just keep that money in the bank. We just don't have to close the bank account.
Okay, you can do that. Sure.
And then when.
It's
we
underage
have an ex-
HCC anyway.
Pardon me? Yeah, right,
Yeah, so
right. It's still under that other name.
now that
So we can
stamp,
just keep that.
Connie, the stamp for the checks, you can keep that as a souvenir of all your hard work over the years.
I can do that.
You
I can
probably
do that.
should ask that accountant what you need to do
Uh-huh.
about the money.
Okay.
They'll probably know how to handle it.
That's a
Yeah, I'll
good-
ask her.
Thank you, Betsy.
When I go pick up our taxes, I'll ask her. They're not due till by the 15th of May, so, and she's had them for a while, but she'd been working on personal taxes first.
She probably knows the answer to that, I would think.
So
Yeah.
folks, we will have a May and we will have a June meeting as a formal board. We will have a board of GERBs, G Retiree Benefit Solutions. After that, it'll probably be, like I said, going back to the core leaders, core group, leaders, administrators of Facebook. And we'll still have meetings. They just won't have to be as intense as what we've been doing, just to keep everybody appraised of everything. And then again, please go over and join Retirees for Justice, and if you can afford a donation, please make one. We're gonna make a donation from our group. But if you can personally. And if you're interested in a board job over there, even as advisory board, not having work, put your name in with Ed, please. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I think we're a stellar group and better than what we do is better than a lot of the other ones. Of course, they won't agree with that, but I believe that. All right, so,
We can name ourselves a core group again for our Facebook group.
right. Yes,
And we can still help all the people that we need, that we can on Facebook.
yeah.
You know, we can still be like a board, only we'll be the core group now.
Let me give you the numbers again, just so everybody knows. On Facebook, we have signed up, registered, if you will, 2,500. We have about 1,700 of that 2,500 that are active. On our formal website, we have 801. Remember, we always try to get people to not go off of, but go from Facebook to GERBs, our formal website, and that's all we could get is 801. They just didn't want to pay it, or they didn't want to be.
Yeah,
bothered. So those are the numbers, just so everybody knows. We have more members on Facebook, more outreach on Facebook, but out of 2,500, about 1,700 are active. Now, when the other G group says they have over 5,000 or 6,000, I don't even know what they're up to. I would bet they're lucky to have 3,500 really involved, active. You see, because people just go away from it, plain and simple. Just so you know that. All right, so if there's nothing else, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Make a motion to
Move we
adjourn.
adjourn.
Wow, that's
A
the one
second.
time everybody speaks up, you know, when you're trying to get out of here. Can I have
After
a
you stop
second?
recording, I can talk to you for a minute.
Yes, I will. All right, let me do that before I. All right, well, let me finish this formal part. Seconded. All right, thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna shut off the recording. Let's see here.